I'm recording. I'm recording now. So again, my name is Richard Lee. I'm a retired immigration officer with USCIS, Fraud Detection and National Security. Uh, I do videos now of interviewing people who have been defrauded by the immigration system and specifically by their spouses, generally just to get green cards and in the trauma and the drama that they've gone through. Um, and so I do these videos for educational purposes and to make people aware of what's going on out there. Uh, Generally, I do ask the people, and I will ask you, uh, are you okay and comfortable with me recording this video, my video, but recording you so that I can do this for educational purposes?
Yes, I
That's
agree.
good.
I agree
Wonderful.
with the
And
recording.
what I would say also is uh, just so that the audience knows, I'm having some internet connectivity issues, so we're not videotaping you because so hopefully it doesn't stall up or get stuck as much today. And I'll be on video just so people can see my ugly face and uh and they won't see the handsome face on here. How about that? Um, uh, so we're good. So if you don't mind, would you just introduce yourself and let us, what do you go by and
Yeah, so my name is Harris Frank Jr. I'm originally from Cameroon in
yeah.
Central Africa.
Okay.
So I moved in the United States in 2009,
Hmm.
and I became a U.S. citizen by a program called DV Lottery in
Yeah,
2015. So I
that's
went
the
to school for
diversity.
engineering.
That's the
I graduated.
diversity. I'm sorry, just so people know the DV lottery. The DV lottery is a diversity lottery program, and I'm actually a big fan of that. I know a lot of people aren't, but it's a program that's a lottery that allows people from anywhere in the world to come to the country, and generally from people from less uh, p p from areas where people are less likely to immigrate from the United States, and you have to have a high school diploma, and you get on a lottery, and then the service just picks it out. They don't do it anymore. I think they've just about cut it out, but I always thought it was a really great program um, because lets everybody have a chance to get in here. So I'm sorry to cut you off, but I do like to have people understand what that is. So you came in as a DV lottery person, and you became a legal
Yeah.
resident,
Yes.
and then you became a U.S. citizen.
Yes, I became a US citizen in 2015.
In 2015.
So, and after, sister, yeah, and after in 2017, um, I knew because the lady that I married,
Mhm.
I knew her back home in Cameroon, but
Okay.
she told me over the phone that she planned to move to United States with her brother,
Okay.
and because her father wanted them to move to United States.
Okay.
But so when she moved to the state, so we start talking
Yeah.
on the phone. We start talking. I have some conversation for us talking. She said she planned to move here, and I told her a little bit about the United States. So when she moved to the state, she
Yeah.
came with a B1 visa. So she
So
told
she
me that
came
she
with a
planned to
B1
stay after
visa.
in America.
Oh, sorry. So she came with
A
a
B
B1
a
visa,
B1
which
visa,
is a
yeah.
business visa. You're just coming here, and you're not coming here to work. You're just coming here for like a trade show or something like that. It's like a B2 visitor visa, but it's for a business visitor visa. So just so people know. So she came in as a B1, but she already told you her plan was to immigrate to the United States. So that's interesting. And
She
that's
told me her
illegal,
plan
by
was
the
to immigrate. You,
way.
so I was like, okay, you can come. So as soon as she came, she landed in Houston, and me, I live in Denver. So we started talking
Yeah.
after she moved to my place,
Yeah.
and after she moved to my place, she introduced me to her father.
Okay.
And when she introduced me to her father was telling me like, hey, you have to marry my daughter. And I said to the father like, I'm in a relationship with her. This is my girl, but I'm not. I don't have no plan to marry her because I have to get to know her more. We know each other before, but I never lived with her
New.
together.
So
So I was
let,
like, I need some time.
Okay, Harris, let me just make sure I understand this. So she moved to Houston first, and then when did she move up where you're at? Because you're
She
in
moved to her
Colorado, right?
uncle. She has an uncle in Houston.
Yeah. When did she move to where you're at? What year was that? What month and year was that?
In 2000, yeah, in 2017, she moved
So
to Denver
so two,
in
good.
2017.
So 2017, she moved to Denver, and then when did you guys start kind of seeing each other right away?
Yeah, because she stayed with me because we were kind of in a relationship.
Okay,
You know,
I
we
got
were talking. You know,
you. Yeah.
but we made it official that we're gonna be together.
Okay.
But you know, why be in a relationship? She introduced me her dad,
Yeah.
you know, her family, especially her dad.
Yeah.
So her dad revealed me that he want me to marry the daughter, and when I will be married to her,
Yeah.
I
Now,
told him like
how
I'm not
fast
in a
did that
rush,
happen?
you
I'm
know.
sorry. Let me just make sure. So she moved in
How
2017. How fast did he start talking to you about marrying her?
it's after like let's say after 1 month
Less
that
than
I
one
was
month.
talking to the
Okay.
dad.
Yeah.
1 month, and
Sure.
also the girl
Mhm.
after she told me that she you know she wanted to stay in United States,
Mhm.
and I told her like you know I told her like yeah, if you want to stay in United States you need to have a legal document or whatever. So I kind of go after I kind of explain her the process, but I told her like hey, I'm not ready right now to marry you because we are just talking, we dating, you
Yeah.
know. So now she told me like her father she revealed me the intention that her father want her to stay in America to marry somebody, and she told me like she either she stay with me or she leave me. So I
Okay.
was in a dilemma because I was like, I don't want to lose you because you're my girl, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I don't want to be married.
Yeah.
So and after her dad keep insisting, so let's say the 2 months happened, 3 months happened,
Yeah.
I was hesitating, I was doubting, but also we moved to her auntie house because she has a house. We live in Denver, so
Okay.
I got a little bit manipulate. I put they give me a lot of pressure,
Yes.
so I
Yeah.
don't know. So I was kind of in a dilemma because I was pressured to marry her because she said she wanted to marry her because I can't marry the person I don't really know. That I have to really get to know her. I didn't have the time to get to know her. So
Okay.
finally, I did a mistake. I married her in 2018. I ended up
Do you
marrying in
remember when
2018, but I feel like
so how long did you guys so how long did you guys date from the time she got to Denver to the time
three
you
months
decided to
is
marry? Was
like
it
3 months because it was 3 months before we got married. It was 3 months.
so in
It was
2000
3 months.
let me just make sure. Did she move to Denver in 2018?
She moved, no, she moved in Denver in end of 2017. So let's say
Oh, the end of
October
2017. Okay.
2017.
Okay, I got you.
And we
Okay.
got married the next year in January in
Oh,
Brighton. We got married the 19th of January in 2018
okay. Yeah, I
in
just want to get a
Colorado
good
here.
timeline. So that is very fast.
Yes.
Pressure.
So yeah,
So
exactly because I got really pressure and I
yeah.
was really confused. And also the mistake that I did too, I didn't do my own research about the marriage in the US.
Yeah.
That was on me because I didn't know how it looked like. I thought that it wasn't because in Africa it's kind of different. Because also the point in Africa, my parents had to be in America. My parents didn't even come to the wedding. None of
Wait.
my family came. And also I informed my parents kind of in a rush. So
Yeah.
after my parents didn't really happy that I got married, they was upset with me. They were like, "Oh, you didn't go to the traditional way to
Yeah.
marry this lady." So when
Yeah, I
I
mean,
married
and
her,
that's very important, and that's interesting because I do know most African cultures have very traditional ways of
exactly,
marrying,
and there was
and
none
the
of
parents and family are very involved. Yeah, so
exactly. So
yeah,
there was none of my family member. It was kind of strange. It was just in a rush. So
sure,
when I married her, I didn't miss it because after I married her, I felt a type of way. I was like, oh, I don't feel like I did something right because sometimes you can do something and you feel like, hey, you did something wrong. And I was like,
yeah,
I don't know if I did the right thing, but I really love the girl. So I
yeah.
feel like in this situation, I've been in the situation. I entered the marriage with the right intention, but she didn't enter the marriage with the right intention, and it's kind of hard to explain because I feel like
No,
in
I
her head
understand.
because
That's very that's just straightforward the way it is. So
so
you
it's
got
more
married in
like
January 19th, 2018. How soon after
yes.
did you start filing, or did she start suggesting that you file paperwork for her?
Yes, she suggested me. She was rushing because she said you got to file, and her father paid for the filing.
Okay.
So her father sent money to Cameroon to
Yeah.
pay for the filing and the immigration. And plus, when we were together, we had an agreement that she's gonna go live in Washington because she wanted to take a IT class. She couldn't take that in Colorado, so she moved to Washington. We have an agreement together, but after. she didn't respect the agreement because she was supposed to stay 6 months there. But
Yeah.
after 6 months, we start having problem because
Yeah.
she just want to hang out there. And after she told me like, hey, we can live separate. I can live in Denver. She live in Washington. So the relationship was falling down. She started changing.
Yeah.
She just came here for the interview and went back. And after when she got her green card, the attitude started changing and the relationship fell down.
Yeah.
Everything fell down
So
after
you filed
the
it. So
2 year
she
because she
got
received the 2 year green card.
so she got her green. Well, so you married her in January. When did you file for her the paperwork for her? Do you remember?
After two like let's say February, the end of February we filed the paperwork.
Oh, a
We filed
month.
the
Yeah,
paperwork really
almost.
quick.
Yeah, almost a month and a half
Yes,
after.
yes,
And
because
so when did she leave from when you filed the paperwork? When did she leave for Washington?
she lived for Washington before I filed the paperwork.
No
You know,
kidding.
yes, she lived for Washington before I filed the paper, but we had a common agreement that she's gonna go and come back after 6 months.
Yeah.
But what happened is like she never respect the agreement
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because she didn't care no more because she just came back to do her interview in Denver
Yeah.
and she went back to Washington.
Yeah.
But after when her green card came out, everything fall down because
Yeah.
she knew that she already a permanent resident for 2 years.
A conditional
You
resident.
know,
Yeah, she's a conditional resident.
so
So you filed the paperwork, and then when did she come back for the interview? Like, was it
she came back from an interview. Like I said, it was like the interview was like maybe 2 months after she left.
2 months
You
after she
know,
left? Okay,
and
and then so
I'm
she
gonna
she
go. I'm gonna. Yeah,
yeah, that was it. So she got the interview, and then how long did she stay here after the interview?
she didn't stay long. Just one day she went back.
One day she went
After
back
the
to
interview, just
Washington.
one day she went back.
And was
Yeah,
she
she went back
telling
to
you?
Washington.
Okay, was she telling you that she was taking classes in Washington? That's why she had to go back, or
No,
what?
she told me she was taking classes.
Yeah.
She
Was
was telling
she?
me she was
I
taking
guess my
class, but
question to you is, was she really taking classes? Do you know whether she was really taking classes or not?
she was really taking class
Okay.
because I flew to Washington after to visit and came back. But I really want to talk about the interview, what happened to the interview, because
So,
there's
yeah,
something
yeah, no,
interesting
we're
what
getting
happened.
there. We'll get there. So, because you just filed that,
So
so what happened at
so
the
at
interview?
the interview, when we came to the interview,
Mhm.
they asked her most of the question.
Yeah.
But at the interview, I realized that when she did the interview, she lied on some two questions. But of course, I was to transfer lie. The first lie they asked her, did he propose you? And she kind of claimed a story that I proposed her, and I never proposed her
Yeah.
because we ended up just buying the ring at the Walmart because she was rushing me.
Yeah.
So the second lie also, they asked her if she live in Denver at the moment. It's
Yeah.
wrong because she was living in Washington.
Already.
So and I also she had another third lie. So but also the fact that if you have your partner lie in the interview, I don't know how this stuff goes. I couldn't deny and say, hey, she's lying. I was like shocked, but I was like, oh, it seems like I was part of this. I was like, I don't know what to say because I never experienced something like that before.
So they didn't
So
separate
of
you
course
guys.
I
They
stayed
didn't
quiet, but
separate you and
no, they
talk to
didn't
you
separate us.
individually.
That's the funny part. They didn't separate us. They didn't separate us.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. So I feel like she's easily get her 2 years green card.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after that, like after the 2 year green card, the relationship failed. She came back to Denver and also, on the meanwhile, she got pregnant by accident. I would say that because when I went to visiting her in Washington, she
Mhm.
ended up getting pregnant. But when she found out she got pregnant, she came back in Denver. And after the relationship failed because one time she trying to call the police on me, and she
Yeah.
called the police because she didn't want me to see with the child. So it went down. So I end up leaving the place. She
Mhm.
kind of kicked me out from the place because the apartment was on her name.
Yeah.
And after she called me only one time to ask me to sign for the 10-year green card. And I said, I'm not going to sign because we are not together
Yeah.
and we are not living together. I can't sign the 10 year. That's it.
Yeah.
And I feel like after that, she took a immigration lawyer. She took a pro bono lawyer because she went out of status and
Yeah.
she filed for her 10 years. And I think she used that one. I'm pretty sure because I
She's
don't
all.
know which way she got the 10 years, but I'm pretty sure she filed for that one. Because
Yeah,
and
so
after
she
before she
well
filed for that one,
she
I
could have
filed for
filed
divorce.
she could have filed just that the marriage was entered into valid, but it broke down, and they could do that, and they're probably not going to ask you like. And she could have done VAWA because that's why she called the police on you because that's the typical what they that's typically what they do is file for they call the police and cover. Now now is and she had a child, and do you how old is the
Yes.
child now?
The child is 4, but that's so she put me on child support. That's not the issue, but she keep me away to see the child. I can't really see the child. So I went to a battle at the court, but I feel like my right has been taken away
Yeah.
because I can't really see the child and I pay the child support.
Yeah,
This is one part, but I feel like also I tried to file an annulment of marriage before. They
yeah.
told me at the court that it was too late. I
Have
took a
you?
lawyer who told me like
Yeah.
because you be married to her for 4 years, they
Can,
wouldn't validate
wait a minute. I got a
the
question for you. Have you
the annulment.
have you done a
Yeah.
DNA test?
Yes, I did a DNA test. I found out it was the child. I did a DNA test, even if the result of the test was saying 99, but I was trying to take another, but I was like, no, this is my child. I think the DNA
Yeah.
said it came that it's my child, but
Yeah.
it's just like the situation really escalated because I was supporting, sending her money to take off the child, and she went back to put me on child support, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't really understand,
Yep.
and I feel like
Yeah.
she trying to do it to help her paperwork for the 10 year
Yeah.
process to
Yeah.
get her 10 year green card.
So when is the last
You
time?
know, that's
So
really my
she
story for now. That's
oh
how.
no, I'm sorry. That's so she it sounds like she was setting you up for VAWA, clearly. I don't know if she did it because she could still use the 751. Um, so and she asked you to do the 751 to remove the conditions with her. Uh, when is the and where does she
Yeah, she
live now?
asked me. She called me. She
Yeah,
called me.
yeah. Where does she live now?
She live in Denver.
Oh,
She
she's still in Denver. I wasn't sure because so she still lives in Denver. It's going to be very yeah. Um, did she ever send you any text or did anyone ever tell you that she just married you for the green card? Did she ever imply that anyway?
No, I have the conversation that we have
Yeah,
before she entered the US.
yeah,
And also I send a letter to the immigration to explain them what I'm telling you
yeah,
after they never reply to me. And maybe I send them late,
okay.
because I feel like she got approved maybe for the 10 years. And after they received my letter, but they never replied to me. I didn't get any response from the immigration
Yeah, they won't
since I
respond to
kind
you.
of explained them
They
really
won't.
what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a thing called
So yeah.
privacy. There's privacy and everything after you got your she got your I-130 approved, which you filed, and her 485 approved. You really don't get any, they're never going to give you any information. You just have to hope that the information you give them will will spark them to do something. But they just under the law they can't really share anything with you. People don't understand that. Um, now, did she so as far as you know, she may have gotten her 10-year green card. You don't know. I suspect having a child with her, she got her 10-year green card as well. Have you had any more contact with her at all?
No, I don't try to because I'm damaged mentally, emotionally. Like I don't really want to see her. I don't want to deal with her. So all
Yeah.
I just want is to like really take care of the child. I don't really want to see her. It has I'm depressing, and I have to even I have to consult a psychiatrist, a therapist. I have some appointment I'm trying to make to see a doctor because I've been really damaged emotionally since 2018. And it is really hard because it's a good engineering job. I lost the job. I lost
Oh,
everything. I lost money. I lost everything. Everything has been taken away. And I feel like she took everything from me. She took my last name. She
yeah.
took everything away from me.
Yeah.
Everything. I lost everything. Just
Hey, you're on mute.
So yeah,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah. So you're saying that you lost everything,
Yeah.
and um, I understand that. It was. I'm assuming it was a serious financial burden. You had to get an attorney. Did you get an attorney to fight
Yes, I
this
got the
issue?
attorney. The attorney didn't do anything because I did the attorney to try to do the annulment of marriage. I
Yeah.
got charged some money. I got an attorney for the child support, but I feel
Yeah.
like I got just rip off and I didn't go nowhere. I didn't really progress on anything. I
Well,
contact
it's
the
very, I mean,
immigration.
I will tell you, it's very difficult to get an annulment. It's not impossible. It's already difficult to get an annulment. But if you have a child involved, it's a lot harder. You've got to have some really strong evidence. And I mean, really strong evidence. And so, and attorneys and judges don't like to do that. It happens, but it's not,
Yeah, but
not
because
common.
they even told me that the timing is not good, I wouldn't win the case. So
Yeah.
my lawyer made me, I know, like we found an agreement with other lawyers, so we didn't go through the process of the annulment
Yeah.
because they told me I wouldn't even win the case because I've been married to her for 4 years and
Yeah.
I'm out of the range on time. So
Yeah, I think so.
so
And
it
you lived
was
together and you
just yeah,
consummated the marriage
I
and you
lost
had a
everything.
child. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I can understand you feel
I mean,
damaged and
I don't know
and
if I really consummated marriage, but I was taking care of her because she didn't have paper that she couldn't work. I was taking care of her financially, paying all the bills. So I got a
well,
little really
what
burnt
it means to say
financially.
what I mean is what it means to say consummated the marriage here is that you guys had sex and she had a baby out of it. So that's a consummation of the marriage, which is one of the requirements by law. And so you did it. You had a baby. So that's a big thing here for them. Uh, I mean, for immigration purposes, it's one of the things in there in it. But yeah, it sounds like a rough time. So you kind of got, was she really, when you first met her, I mean, when you first met her here, because I know you knew her a long time, was she like really nice and
Yeah.
affectionate with you?
She was nice. She was really nice, sweet, but she was hiding a part that I
Yeah.
didn't know, and I found out that late because
Yeah.
if I knew, I would never marry her. I feel
Yeah.
like also she has to do some research how thick she can get stuff, and I feel like she got some people tell her like, when as soon as you get the 2 year green card, maybe you're good to go,
Yeah.
and that's really what
That's
happened.
very common.
I got
Yeah.
just a little trapped.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She knew what she was doing and you didn't, you're thinking you're getting a wife and you're getting someone for life.
doing
And
yeah,
she's thinking she's getting a green card.
yes,
That's
and
what,
I didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
It's I seen that coming late. It was already too late when I saw that. That's why I decided to divorce. That's why I did the process of divorce. I divorced her. She didn't divorce me. I'm the one who established the divorce.
Now, when you did the divorce, was it
So
just when you did the divorce, was it just like a no fault divorce? Nobody said fault. You're just going to be divorced. Or was there anything
no,
in the
I
divorce
mean
that,
I explained what happened like that. I feel like she married for the purpose of the queen card, and she said that I abused her mentally, emotionally, and stuff
yeah,
like that. She said she has been abused. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so
Everybody says that, and it's just a disgusting thing that happens so much. It doesn't even, it sickens me. Uh, I'm sorry. And then you go through it emotionally, and they call the police on you,
yeah.
and you're just in. It's a horrible.
And plus, even the police, it was not because it was something like I was trying to serve the child in the other a bed and she didn't want me and she called the police. But the police didn't even do nothing. I don't know if they did a report, but they was like, y'all have to go parenting. It was something like, I
Yeah,
said, what do you
yeah.
police or something like there's nothing
Yeah.
going on,
How often do you see
and yeah.
how often do you see your son now?
I haven't even seen my child for a year because she's trying to keep me away to seeing the
Mhm.
child.
And
So
it's hard to get a
that's another
it
situation that I'm going through.
And financially, that's difficult, right? You got to get an attorney to help you fight that. You've already spent a fortune on attorneys. And people wonder why you don't see
Yes,
your child
exactly.
when you people wonder, oh, he didn't fight hard enough.
I
Well,
don't
sometimes
have
you
that.
just don't have
I
the
don't have
money
that.
to fight anymore. It takes a lot of money to
I
fight. I
don't
know
have
people
the
have spent
money.
uh,
Exactly.
people have
And
spent
it take a
hundreds
lot
of
of
thousands of
money. I
dollars.
don't have a
I'm sorry.
good job.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you. People spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on this just to try to get to see their child sometimes. And people don't have that kind of money. It's really horrible. And the judges don't
No.
enforce it. It's really a tragic thing. So you got a double whammy.
Yes,
You
exactly.
got used for a green card, you had a child, and now you can't
Mm.
even have a relationship with your child because
I
I
know I
can't
don't
stand
have
that
a
at all.
relationship with him.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that you're
It's
going through
crazy. I
that.
lost everything.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I lost everything. I
I
lost everything.
well, you know what? Bounce back, and I think you'll bounce back, and I'm hoping you will. Keep your head up and just keep pushing forward. And I always tell men especially to find a there's a lot of fathers' rights groups out there, especially if you look on Facebook for fathers' rights groups, and there are people who try to help with this. And see if you can't find some of those places that might help you get a better relationship with your son. Um, and may
Yeah.
it can help you navigate the process. But there are groups out there of men who are fighting this like you are, and you need some support. Okay, you're gonna have to have some support to
Okay.
fight through this.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
think this was a good interview, but I'm gonna cut it off for the recording. But we'll talk for just a few more minutes if you don't mind. Okay.